Hello guys, it's Peter from PS Sound and Darren. In this episode we will show plumber's dream, right?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have many videos of transporters we've built. We built quite a few. I think we only have one that we kind of rescued from a previous shop, but this was built from almost ground up, because there was a system in it before.
Yes.
But we had to add to it. So we will run through it, and then you will see what happened in this, because I think this is pretty much the box standard baseline where a system has to start. Although we built another one for you and we will talk about that. That was much simpler than this, but this is where a PS Sound level starts. So at the front we have three-way with an additional front sub, and we will explain why, and I'll show the front sub as well. We built custom pillars, and we didn't make them super on axis because of course we don't want to block the view too much, but they are quite aimed into the cabin. We have Steg MS30 mid-range with the SQ25 tweeter. You can't see it under the speaker cloth, but I will find pictures to show you the fabrication, how it worked out. They are not mega expensive, but considering their price, they way outperform the price. Because at least you believe me. Many people don't want to believe that sometimes cheap speakers can sound great.
Yeah, right? No, I just trusted your opinion.
Because the mids are like 300 a pair, the tweeters are 129 a pair, and it doesn't sound expensive for some people, especially considering what people are used to seeing in this country. But if you think about like Focal, like the Flex Range three-way, that's £540. And if you break it down, even in that set, to the time you take the crossover off, mid-bass pair, mid-pair, tweeter pair, most of the speakers are also like 100 quid, 150 a pair. The same thing. So in that sense, probably this mid-range costs too much. But even that Focal Flex, we use it a few times, even those sound great, but people have to get over just trying to make decisions based on price tag. Of course, we can use more expensive speakers, but considering it's a work van, you don't have to throw money insensibly on it. Yeah. So this is pretty much a must, because getting mid-range from down low from the door is not easy. It always comes with compromises. Your leg is in the way. If you move your leg, response changes, sound stage changes, everything changes, and the whole stage is down low, and you can't cover the frequency response evenly, and you will have dips and gaps in the range. So going three-way is a must. I don't even remember what mid-bass we had there. Your previous builds, mid-bass drivers?
Yeah, so there were some kicker drivers.
So we had a two-way kicker. We kept the mid-bass in the door. We revisited the install because that needed a bit of attention, I think.
Yeah.
And then here I will have to put in a picture as well what's behind there, because hopefully I will find it, because it's completely covered. Before, Darren had a kicker 4-channel running front and rear speakers passive, and you also had a monoblock running the sub at the back. We will show in a second as we walk around. So we added a Helix V8, so that runs now the components, the three-way and the rear speakers, which were installed previously up there at the back. So we used the V8 for running those components, and we kept the 4-channel bridge running the front sub, and we kept the monoblock running the rear sub at the back. Let's go to the back, then the guys can see. There you go, it's a practical van. And you have everything in here. Well, okay, some people may kick you on this because we called it the plumber's dream, and yes, your business is plumbing, but this doesn't look like a plumber's van.
No, so I use it for dual purposes. So I'm in the office running my business, sorting work out, sorting quotes, that sort of thing. So I use this as a runaround when I'm working from the office, and I also use it for leisure, family, getting my children to and fro, kids, that sort of thing.
That's when we need a truck to drive past us. Because that's the thing, we built this car last September, and we didn't have a chance to take a video. Even when we had a retune on it a bit later, we didn't take a video, and now we have to shoot it in front of the workshop. So sorry for the noise, guys. So you use it mainly for leisure and family, and that shows because it's in a beautiful state. It's clean. Whenever I see this one, it's always clean. That's what we like.
Yeah,
that's what everybody likes. So you had this kicker prefab sub box from the previous build. classic kicker high tuning, big mega port. It does the job, especially you like a nice thump and your electronic music. I gotta say, guys, because you know us, that we go beyond the everyday, just bolt it in and let it be type of installations. We always look at the speaker installations as the first priority of any system design. And if you have a van, that's potentially the worst location for a subwoofer for listening from the driver's seat. You will have such an uneven response with the sub because the bass is omnidirectional, so as the wave spreads, it goes to the front, equally comes to the back, and when it hits the tailgate, then it reflects, then that secondary wave starts to go to the front as well, and when the original and the reflected wave ends up at the driving position, you will have huge cancellations in certain areas in the frequency response, and I proved it to you.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
We played certain frequency, with tailgate shut, you don't hear anything at the front. You open the tailgate, you have all the bass at the front with tailgate open, and people are like, oh no, you get more bass when the tailgate is shut. Well, in certain frequency response areas, not everywhere. So if you have a van, and if you have the chance, I would design a sub box where it's somewhere mounted as far back as possible, so the sub is more point source coming from the back without all the reflected energy from the tailgate. But of course, in this van, in this case, this is the only way to keep it practical. And at least because we have a front sub, this way we managed to pull the two together. So the rear sub only plays the low frequencies below like 45 hertz or so, something like that. And that's just fine. And then the front sub does the upper bass to integrate to the mid bass. And on that note, we have to show the front sub. Let's show the front sub. And I prepared a torch because otherwise you won't see anything unless, no, we do see. So we have a front sub down here on the driver's side, a Helix shallow 10-inch, and the torch looks like it just gave up. So it just fits underneath the bar. As you can see, there's not much clearance. It is tight. But this front sub solution really helps to integrate. And then if you can jump in and we can talk about it. It really helps to integrate the system because the doors, whatever mid bass you use in a door, whether you use a 6.5 or an 8-inch, and it doesn't matter how much power you throw at the door, it's moving, but you don't hear it in driving position for the same reason, like I mentioned regarding the rear subwoofer, that the speaker plays, but where you sit, you don't hear it, and you don't have functional range with mid bass in the door in these vans below 80 hertz or rather 90. So there's no point to throw big money and have high expectations to get big punch from the door. I've seen people who build enclosures on the doors, and that helps a little bit because then at least you fix one problem, get rid of the door related mounting issues like all the buzzes, rattles. Even if you soundproof it, it still flexes and it lost energy. Whereas the front sub underneath the driver's side here in this case, that definitely is a tight mounting in a sealed box, rigid, and it just transforms everything. And that's probably the best favorite part for you, is it?
Yeah, most definitely. If you push the door speakers, as I was before the install, you had a lot of rattling. The handles would rattle, the plastic would rattle, and I could never get that sound I wanted. But with the tuning, the front sub, you get much more power, you feel the music. It certainly suits my tastes, most definitely.
One thing that I gotta mention, and the reason why now we are sitting in this van at this moment, is that we have a new client coming, and fortunately Darren lives close to us, and he was kind to pop in to show this build, because it's difficult to explain to new customers what it's like if you have this, if you have that. They have to hear it. And one thing I'm always a bit concerned of is the front sub. So having a front sub is amazing to have great integration and nice punch. However, we always have to weigh up if people can live with the front sub underneath the driver's seat, because as much as it's fun, you have tactile feel and you really feel the bass, which you love. But maybe it's not for everybody. So it's something that people have to experience. For some people it's a big bonus because you don't have to turn the music up that loud in order to feel like you have more bass action happening, because you have the feel, you feel it straight through the seat, through your body, And even on like mid-level, you already have the feeling as if you had more bass in the car.
Yeah, definitely at lower volumes you get a nice sound.
Other option is, like in a van like this, that if you have space underneath the other one, you can put the front sub there. Acoustically, it can integrate just as well, and you will hear the bass from the top of the dash. But of course, you won't feel it. Your passenger will. Or you could have two. It's a bit more complex installation, and you get even more upfront bass. But it comes to actual level, how much upfront bass you need. 110-inch does a perfect job. You don't need more. Then it would be out of balance. Then you need more of everything. You need more of the freeway front end and the rear sub. Then you would just have to dial the 210s or the two front subs underneath both seats down. So what we didn't mention, that you have this Pioneer head unit. I don't think it's worth mentioning too much. It's nothing special. Classic, common, focus. There you go, that one. And that has full integration with the steering wheel. It just works seamlessly. And just as I'm speaking, there you go. Our client with that new transporter has arrived. So he's gonna check it out, and hopefully he's gonna be game with us, and we can share his thoughts, what he thought about hearing this system at the end. All right, so you suddenly just swap position before people think that, David was getting a demo on passenger side. We're not that crazy.
I got a demo in the back and in the passenger
At the back
side.
as well?
Yeah, because I wanted to.
I showed him the sound field, the presets.
I see.
So I've got no seats at the moment, so I just wanted to hear what the sound was like once I get the rock and roll bed sort of thing in the back.
Yeah.
Because there's no point setting it all up here. Well, there is, and then getting the seats, and then you go, Peter, I need to get it for the back as well.
Yeah, I told you
Get
that we
it all
have
in
to
one
have
go.
spare channels for the back,
Yeah.
because we will need rear speakers.
Yeah.
So what did you experience on driver's side first?
That bass coming out the seat, but it wasn't what I expected.
Okay.
I was expecting to, I was waiting for it to jump out the seat. That didn't happen, but there's another sub in the back which just evens out the sound all the way around the van.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to sit in the back to experience it as, say, a passenger.
How
in the
different
future.
it is here.
Yeah. And I've also had a demo of the DSP, as in what it sounds like, just driver only.
Yep.
Passenger and driver. I think that's what you did.
Yeah. And then, rear passengers.
Rear passengers. And obviously what it sounds like outside at high level, which is insane.
You don't expect how quiet it is outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, Darren made a big job on it. You covered everything on this car, didn't you?
Yeah.
So that definitely helps, not just for the inside listening, but mainly not to disturb the people outside.
That's
so,
it.
So what did you experience on driver's side when it comes to the front end?
The sound is just amazing, absolutely amazing. I've got a T6.1 with the standard head unit, speakers in the door, and the A-pillars, and these custom built A-pillars that you've done. Watching it on a YouTube video does not do it justice. You have to sit in that seat.
Exactly. That's why I said to pop down.
I don't think Andy you haven't sat in the seat, have you?
No, I haven't. No, but
You will.
take your word for it.
No. You have to
You have
experience
to.
it.
You have
I'm here,
to.
so let's do that.
And it does, it just changes the whole environment, listening environment. And as Darren said, I'm so impressed with this, I can actually see and do, or will do exactly what he did, is probably sit in the van a lot more, listening to the stereo, not wanting to go in.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just an enjoyable place to be.
So how was the front sub situation? You said it wasn't as crazy, but do you think it's something that you can live with, having it
Yeah.
on that side?
Yeah.
It adds to the enjoyment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was worried about it, because some people find it distracting.
Yeah. But I'm also glad that you actually gave me the option, to actually think about that
Yeah.
before I came. And as I said, when I sat in that seat, I sat down and waited for the bass to suddenly hit me. Am I going to jump out the seat because it's unexpected? And it wasn't. The bass is tight.
As the front sub only plays a certain range, it only plays the upper bass. I explained to people earlier when we were shooting the walk around that it's only playing like from 45 hertz up to like 90 hertz.
Right.
It's playing the playful bass, the tight bass. The rear sub blends in so seamlessly. You can't even locate it, can you? The rear sub when you sit at the front.
No.
But when you did you turn the rear sub down for him, Darren? Maybe
No,
not.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But
that's when you can hear the difference, what it's like with or without. Because when actually you turn the rear sub down, suddenly the front sub sounds weak. But it's the same when when you only listen to the rear sub on its own, it sounds weak. The front sub on its own sounds weak, but when you play together, when they are in time and phase, they add up. And even if they play only few octaves, when they add up, everything just comes together and it makes sense.
Yeah, you see, for me, as I said, I've only got 2 captain's chairs. There is nothing in the back.
Yeah.
Not even a flooring. So it's just bare
At the
metal. I've
moment,
put rubber. So having the sub there, I would want bass in the back, but obviously it'll look a bit silly having a box just in the middle of the
Well, it's
floor.
not going to be there. We explained earlier that
Yeah.
that's the worst location, to be fair, for a rear subwoofer. It has to be far back somewhere.
Yeah.
We will
But
talk about
we'll
it.
talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is where it starts. That's what I said. There's no point to do anything less than this.
Yeah.
And this wasn't crazy. Like a DSP amplifier, custom pillars, mid bass in door, because that's the easiest. And then, you know what? We have to open the door now.
Yeah, we do.
The summer has arrived in UK. We have like 20 degree, but I just wanted to, have a word with you guys because it's more inspiring for other people. I can walk around any car of ours that we build and yeah, this is nice. This is what we did. Amazing. And of course, everything is amazing on the internet.
You have to come in person. You have
Yeah.
to come in person. and
That's why
listen
we
to
organized the
your own
meetings as well. We had a meeting.
Yeah, I couldn't make it, unfortunately.
yeah, not
My
a long time
apologies.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh, we had great fun. We had so many people. You know what? This was the first meeting when we had like 9-10 cars already at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, holy shit, somebody drove like 4 hours and he was there at 9 o'clock. I'm like, that is something. People really want to max it out, spend the whole day there. And I think most people left after like 6. At the end, some of us left almost at like 7 o'clock. We went to have dinner. We finished at 10 o'clock in the
See,
restaurant.
I haven't heard of any of these sort of car meets with stereos. In the old days when the Max Power magazine used to be out, which is no longer, you'd get all the meetings and stuff. Now it seems to have all phased out. So when
We
you
have the
heard
MOUK
that-
competitions. That's a platform for people get a chance to listen to competition level cars. Some people call these systems competition level, because we make custom pillars and we make it freeway. Darren has another one with that simple 2-way,
Yeah.
just mid bass and a tweeter in factory location. You don't see anything, and it's still fun, but not as much as this.
No, this is insane. This is absolutely insane.
Is it insane or is it what you want?
It's what I want, and
And
I think Darren.
well,
already know
you
that,
will. I'll put you into the S class just to get another level, which is dangerous. Well,
It's hard to imagine another level.
Yeah,
But there is.
yeah.
well, that's the level.
Yeah.
But of course, we always work with the car. I always say we have to work with the car. We can't work against it.
No.
So we have to create a system that can work with the environment. And a van is not the most ideal space for the ultimate, highest level of madness when it comes to audiophile quality. But still, I think what this system is doing is amazing. But all those things that we mentioned at the beginning of the video, explaining how we can integrate everything and get a really full frequency range at listening position and get holographic staging that you don't. It's funny that I say it so often that the biggest achievement in car audio for us is to lose the hardware. You don't want to listen to speakers, you want to listen to music.
Yeah.
You don't want to focus on where the sound comes from, you just want to kind of,
Be in the middle of it.
yeah. You want to see the instruments, the band in front of you and not to focus on speakers. So, cool. I'm going to shut this video here. I think now everybody gets an idea about this van project. We will see what we will do with David's at some point further down the line in the calendar. And if any of you have, any inquiries, send us a message. Or if you already have a van system with a fully active system with a DSP, then we always offer, I have to mention it, we offer a tuning service. So we are happy to help to tune the vans and get the maximum out of them at the end of the day. Sometimes I have to mention that, we are several times European champions in sound quality competition. And we get an idea about what the level is and what a system should be like. So feel free to contact us and we will see you in the next video. Take care.